Chapter 1. The Cracked Mirror. Seraphina was no stranger to the reflection in the mirror. The scars that marked her face were as familiar to her as the back of her hand, the result of a childhood accident that left her forever marked. Each morning, as she stood in front of the cracked mirror in her small, rustic bathroom, she would trace her fingers lightly over the uneven texture of her face. She would carefully study the mirror, a reluctant participant in a silent conversation with herself. Seraphina lived alone in a small cottage on the outskirts of a small town, her life quiet and uneventful. Her only companions were the stray cats she fed, and her beloved books that served as her escape from reality. She spent her days working from home, transcribing audio recordings for a distant company, a job that required no face-to-face interactions, perfectly suited to her hermit-like existence. Her house was a haven, a sanctuary where she could be herself without the wary glances or the pitiful looks that people gave her when they saw her face. She preferred the silence of her cottage and the company of her thoughts over the harsh reality of the outside world. However, there were moments of crushing loneliness that made her yearn for more, for connection, for acceptance, and for love. One such evening, she sat on her porch, her heart heavy with loneliness. The town was bustling with life, people gathering at the local pub, laughter and music echoing in the distance. She looked down at her worn-out book, her finger tracing the lines, but her heart wasn't in it. As she closed her book and looked up at the moonlit sky, she made a wish, as childish as it seemed. She wished for a life less lonely, for someone who could look past her scars and see her for who she truly was. Little did she know that life was about to answer her call in the most unexpected way. Chapter 2. An Unwanted Gift. The next morning, Seraphina woke up to an unusual sound. It was a soft, rhythmic knocking. Startled, she pushed herself out of bed and moved toward the source of the noise. To her surprise, the sound was coming from her front door. She peeked through the window next to the door, her heart pounding. Outside, she saw an unfamiliar sight. A man was standing there, nervously shifting his weight from one foot to the other. He held a small package, wrapped in brown paper and tied with a simple string. He seemed harmless, but she hesitated, unsure of what to do. Gathering her courage, she opened the door just a crack. "Can I help you?" she asked, her voice barely above a whisper. He looked surprised, as though he hadn't expected anyone to answer. I have a package for you, ma'am," he stuttered, holding out the package. "From the town's bookstore. They said you're a regular." Her heart fluttered. Indeed, she was a regular at the bookstore, always ordering her books through a catalog, never venturing to pick them up in person. She carefully accepted the package, her fingers brushing against his. His hands were rough, yet his touch was gentle, a stark contrast to his rugged appearance. He gave her a warm smile before saying goodbye and walking away. Once safely inside her home, Seraphina slowly unwrapped the package. Inside was the book she had ordered, but something else caught her eye. A small note was tucked inside the book. It read, "To the woman who loves to read, may these stories bring you joy. P.S. There's a book club meeting at the town's library this Sunday. Would love to meet you there." Seraphina was taken aback. Who could have sent the note? She had no friends in town, and nobody had ever shown her such kindness. Could it have been the man who delivered the package? Her heart pounded at the thought of going to the book club meeting, a gathering filled with people, all looking at her. But something about the note, the warm smile of the stranger, and her own yearning for a connection made her consider it. She clutched the note and made a decision. She would go to the book club meeting. Perhaps this was the answer to her wish, an opportunity for a less lonely life. Despite her fears and insecurities, Seraphina was about to step out of her shadow into the world she had long been avoiding. Chapter 3. A Spark of Hope. Sunday arrived faster than Seraphina expected. Despite the fear gnawing at her, she stood in front of the town library, its grand structure a stark contrast to her humble abode. She felt out of place, her heart pounding like a drum. Taking a deep breath, she entered. The library was teeming with people, all engrossed in their world of books. She made her way towards the section where the book club was meeting. As she walked in, everyone turned to look at her. She felt the familiar sting of their curious and surprised gazes, but she steeled herself. Suddenly, a familiar face emerged from the crowd. It was the man who had delivered the package, Jasper. He smiled warmly at her and gestured for her to join him. His kindness made her feel a little less alien, a little less afraid. The meeting turned out to be less daunting than she had imagined. It was a group of people who loved books, discussing stories and authors passionately. Jasper, a fellow book lover, led the discussions, often looking towards Seraphina, encouraging her to share her thoughts. Despite her initial discomfort, she found herself engaging in the discussion, her love for books overriding her insecurities. For the first time in a long time, she felt seen, not for her scars, but for her intellect and her passion. As the meeting came to a close, Jasper walked up to her. "I'm glad you came, Seraphina. Your insights added a new dimension to our discussion." For the first time, Seraphina felt a spark of hope, a glimmer of the life she had wished for, a life where she was more than her scars, a life where she was seen, accepted, and perhaps even loved. Chapter 4. Shattered Illusions. Weeks passed, and the book club became a regular part of Seraphina's life. She looked forward to the Sunday meetings, where she found solace in the conversations that flowed effortlessly among the members. Among them all, Jasper had become a close friend, someone she felt comfortable sharing her deepest thoughts with. One sunny afternoon, Seraphina decided to take a stroll in the town park. As she walked along the meandering path, she spotted Jasper in the distance, engrossed in conversation with a girl. Her heart skipped a beat. Who was this girl, and why was Jasper so animated in her presence? Curiosity consumed her as she approached the pair, trying to catch snippets of their conversation. She couldn't help but feel a pang of jealousy creeping into her heart. She had developed feelings for Jasper, and the thought of him being romantically involved with someone else tore at her fragile hope. Her steps wavered as she came closer, her mind racing with 1,000 questions. Did Jasper never see her as more than a friend? Was she just a distraction, a source of intellectual conversation? Seraphina's heart shattered into a million pieces, her illusions of a budding romance crumbling before her eyes. Tears welled up in her eyes, unable to bear the pain of seeing Jasper with someone else. She felt betrayed, her illusions of a potential romance crumbling before her. In her mind, the girl's beauty and their apparent closeness only confirmed her fears. Just as she was about to turn and walk away, Jasper noticed her presence. His eyes widened, and he excused himself from the girl's company, quickly making his way towards Seraphina. "Seraphina, hey!" Jasper greeted her, a hint of nervousness in his voice. Trying to mask her pain, she forced a smile and said, "Hey, Jasper, I didn't mean to interrupt. I was just taking a walk." Jasper's gaze softened as he looked at her. "No, you're not interrupting anything. This is Natalie, an old friend. We were just catching up." Natalie smiled warmly at Seraphina. "It's nice to meet you. Jasper has told me so much about you." Seraphina's heart sank further. Had Jasper talked about her to Natalie? Did he see her only as a friend, someone he could confide in? Chapter 5. Secret Love Confession. Seraphina couldn't shake off the images of Jasper and Natalie from her mind. Despite their assurance of being just friends, doubts gnawed at her heart, refusing to let go. She couldn't comprehend why Jasper would choose her over someone as beautiful and close to him as Natalie. Feeling lost and confused, Seraphina distanced herself from Jasper, avoiding their usual encounters. She sought solace in the sanctuary of her cottage, where she buried herself in books, trying to distract her troubled mind. Unbeknownst to Seraphina, Natalie harbored her own secret feelings for Jasper. She had fallen for him long ago, but had never found the courage to confess her love. Instead, she had settled into the role of his best friend, supporting him through thick and thin. One day, Natalie noticed Seraphina's sudden change in behavior towards Jasper. Sensing that something was wrong, she approached him with concern etched on her face. "Jasper, I've noticed that Seraphina has been distant lately. Did something happen between you two?" Natalie asked, her voice filled with worry. Jasper sighed, his expression heavy with sadness. "I don't know, Natalie. I thought everything was going well between us, but lately she seems distant, as if she's pulling away. I can't understand why." Natalie's heart ached for Jasper, knowing the truth behind Seraphina's withdrawal. She had always admired Jasper's capacity to love, and now she admired him even more for his feelings towards Seraphina. Gathering her courage, she decided to be honest with him. "Jasper, there's something you should know," Natalie began, her voice gentle yet filled with vulnerability. "I've had feelings for you for a long time, but seeing how much you care for Seraphina, I can't bring myself to confess. I want you to be happy, even if it's not with me." Jasper's eyes widened with surprise and realization. He had been blind to Natalie's affection, so consumed by his own feelings for Seraphina. He placed a comforting hand on Natalie's shoulder, gratitude filling his voice. "Natalie, you're an incredible person, and your friendship means the world to me. I never knew. I'm sorry if I've hurt you unintentionally, but please know that Seraphina is the one who holds my heart. I love her, scars and all." Natalie smiled sadly, her heart breaking, yet finding solace in Jasper's happiness. "I know, Jasper. I've seen how deeply you care for her. She's a lucky woman, and I hope she realizes how special you are." The two friends embraced, their bond unbroken despite the complicated emotions between them. Jasper appreciated Natalie's honesty and support, even as he grappled with the uncertainty of Seraphina's feelings. Chapter 6. A Heart in Confusion. One evening, as Seraphina sat on her porch, a book lay untouched in her lap. Jasper's voice echoed in her thoughts, his laughter and the way his eyes lit up when he spoke to her. Tears welled up in her eyes as the weight of her insecurities became unbearable. Suddenly, a familiar voice broke through her reverie. "Seraphina, may I join you?" Startled, she turned to find Natalie standing there, a concerned look on her face. Seraphina hesitated for a moment before giving a half-hearted nod. Natalie took a seat beside her, her eyes filled with understanding. "Seraphina, I can see that something is troubling you. Can you share what's been on your mind?" Seraphina sighed, her voice heavy with emotion. "Natalie, I don't know what to believe anymore. Seeing you and Jasper together, I can't help but think that there's something more between you two. I'm scared of being hurt." Natalie reached out and gently held Seraphina's hands, her voice soft and reassuring. "I understand why you might feel that way, but I promise you, Seraphina, Jasper and I are just friends. He cares for you deeply, and his love for you surpasses any physical appearance." Tears streamed down Seraphina's face as her walls began to crumble. "But Natalie, you're so beautiful, and you're always there for him. How can I compete with that?" Natalie's eyes filled with compassion as she spoke, her voice unwavering. "Seraphina, beauty is not solely defined by physical appearance. It's the way we love, the way we understand and support each other. Jasper sees the beauty within you, the strength and kindness that radiate from your heart. That's what truly matters to him. Seraphina's heart ached with the weight of her self-doubt. She realized that her scars did not define her worth, nor did they diminish the love Jasper felt for her. She wiped away her tears and looked into Natalie's eyes, grateful for her honesty and support. "Natalie, thank you for being honest with me and for helping me see beyond my fears. I've been pushing Jasper away because I didn't want to get hurt, but I can't ignore my feelings for him any longer. I need to talk to him, to tell him how I truly feel." Natalie smiled, her eyes shimmering with unshed tears. "I'm glad you found the courage, Seraphina. Jasper deserves to know your heart. I'll be here for you no matter what." With newfound determination, Seraphina made her way back to the town, her heart filled with hope and a sense of clarity. She knew that the path ahead wouldn't be easy, but she was ready to embrace it, scars and all. Chapter 7. A Leap of Faith. Seraphina's heart pounded with anticipation as she approached Jasper's house. The weight of her insecurities lingered, but she refused to let them hold her back any longer. She had decided to confront her fears and have an honest conversation with Jasper. Jasper greeted her with a warm smile as he opened the door. "Seraphina, what a pleasant surprise. Come on in." Seraphina stepped inside, her nerves getting the best of her. "Jasper, we need to talk," she said, her voice trembling slightly. Jasper's brow furrowed with concern as he guided her to the living room. "Of course, Seraphina. What's on your mind?" Taking a deep breath, Seraphina gathered her thoughts. "I've been distant lately, and it's not because of anything you've done. It's because of my own insecurities. When I saw you with Natalie, I jumped to conclusions and believed that you two were in a romantic relationship." Jasper's eyes widened in surprise. "Seraphina, I never meant to give you that impression. Natalie is a dear friend, nothing more. It's you who has captured my heart." A mix of relief and vulnerability washed over Seraphina. She couldn't deny the love shining in Jasper's eyes, but her scars still haunted her. "Jasper, I'm grateful for your feelings, but I can't help but see myself as scarred and unworthy of your love." Jasper closed the distance between them, gently taking Seraphina's hands in his. "Seraphina, your scars do not define you. They are a part of who you are, but they in no way diminish the beauty that radiates from within. I see your strength, your resilience, and the incredible person you are. I love you for all that you are, including your scars." Tears welled up in Seraphina's eyes, her heart brimming with emotion. She searched Jasper's eyes for any hint of doubt, but all she found was unwavering sincerity. "I love you too, Jasper," she whispered, her voice filled with conviction. "But please understand that it will take time for me to fully accept your love. My insecurities won't disappear overnight." Jasper nodded, his love and understanding evident in his eyes. "Seraphina, I will wait for as long as it takes. Our love is worth the patience and effort. We'll navigate this journey together, step by step." As they embraced, Seraphina felt a newfound sense of belonging. She realized that love wasn't about physical perfection or a lack of scars. It was about acceptance, understanding, and unwavering support. With Jasper by her side, she felt ready to embrace her scars and the love that awaited her. Chapter 8. A Friend's Blessing. Meanwhile, Natalie wrestled with her own conflicting emotions. She had been honest with Jasper about her feelings, but witnessing his love for Seraphina stung. Yet despite her heartbreak, she couldn't help but admire Jasper's unwavering commitment to Seraphina's happiness. One evening, as Natalie sat in her room, tears streaming down her face, she heard a knock on her door. Wiping away her tears, she opened it to find Jasper standing there, his eyes filled with sadness. "Natalie, I need to talk to you," he said, his voice filled with a mix of sorrow and gratitude. Natalie stepped aside, allowing Jasper to enter. "Of course, Jasper. What's on your mind?" Taking a deep breath, Jasper began. "Natalie, I want to thank you for your friendship, your support, and for being honest about your feelings. It hasn't been easy for either of us, but I hope we can navigate this with kindness and understanding." Natalie nodded, her voice barely above a whisper. "Jasper, seeing you with Seraphina has been difficult, but I want you to know that I truly care about your happiness. You deserve someone who loves you wholeheartedly, and if that's Seraphina, then I can't help but admire her for recognizing the incredible person you are." Tears welled up in Jasper's eyes as he reached out to hold Natalie's hands. "Natalie, your friendship means the world to me, and I will always cherish it. You're an extraordinary person, and I'm grateful to have you in my life." As they embraced, both Jasper and Natalie felt a bittersweet mix of sadness and hope. Their friendship remained unbreakable, even as their paths diverged. Natalie found solace in knowing that Jasper had found love, even if it wasn't with her. Chapter 9. A Proposal of Love. Months passed, and Seraphina and Jasper's love grew stronger with each passing day. Seraphina had slowly but steadily started to accept herself and embrace the love that Jasper showered upon her. However, deep-rooted insecurities still lingered within her. One evening, as the sun set over the horizon, Seraphina and Jasper took a walk along the path they had once frequented. The soft breeze whispered through the trees, and the air was filled with anticipation. Jasper stopped, turning to face Seraphina. His eyes sparkled with love as he took her hands in his. "Seraphina, from the moment we met, you have captured my heart. Your strength, your resilience, and the beauty that emanates from within have inspired me in ways I can't express." Seraphina's heart fluttered, her breath catching in her throat. She could feel the weight of his words, his love washing over her like a gentle wave. Jasper continued, his voice filled with emotion. "Today, I want to make a promise to you, a promise of love, acceptance, and support. Seraphina, will you marry me?" Seraphina's eyes widened with surprise, her heart soaring with joy. She couldn't believe that someone could love her so deeply, scars and all. Tears of happiness streamed down her face as she nodded, her voice choked with emotion. "Yes, Jasper, 1,000 times, yes." In that moment, surrounded by the beauty of nature and the love that bound them, Seraphina knew that she had found her true happiness. She had overcome her fears and insecurities, and with Jasper by her side, she was ready to embark on a journey filled with love, acceptance, and a lifetime of cherished moments.